Jerry.
Jerry.
God is so good, and we are so blessed to be here tonight.
Yes.
And, Sister June talked about the Wednesday prayer service, and I've come a few times. And the one thing that God showed me was, I appreciate the opportunity to talk to Him, but what I really love is when He talks to me, because He knows more than I do, and I like to hear what He has to say. And we need to spend time hearing what He has to say. And Thursday night when I was getting ready to go to church, God dropped a little thought in my heart that I'll just take a few minutes for. It's Romans 8:28. This is probably a Bible verse that I've used more than any other Bible verse in my Christian walk. And it's, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to His purpose. And what God dropped in my heart is now I'm retired, so I don't work, but used to be, one time I managed a restaurant here in town, and at one time I managed a junkyard here in town, and I've had lots of different jobs, but I thought Thursday when I was getting ready for church, I thought that at one time I used to say that there was, money's money. Who believes that money's money? But there's easy money and there's hard money. And if you never worked, that may not make sense to you. But to give you a couple of examples, when I managed the Just Right, the restaurant, we could do $100 an hour. And if we had, we do like $400 or $500 an hour really, but if we had a drive up and we had a dining room. And if people would come on drive up, cars would come one at a time, and they'd give the orders one at a time. And we could have two people working, and you could put the cokes, make the sandwiches, take the people's money, they'd go, and you just do that continuously. Is that right, Sister Judy? It's easy, isn't it? Yeah. One at a time. But we've also been over there when a school bus of kids would pull in. And it would be like 50 little kids. Imagine like 50, when the little kids come here on Tuesday night, all them little, or teenagers, and they're all yapping at the same time, and they're all fighting, and they're all playing, and they're all ordering crazy stuff. Like, I want a hamburger, well done, with ketchup, mustard, but hold the pickles, and, with tartar sauce on it, and it just drives you insane. And they'd all be jostling, and we'd lose track of how many sandwiches was there, and it's just like it'd be a total mess. Well, that's hard money. So the same $100 can come easy, or it can come hard. Well, when I worked at the junkyard, and some of you guys may know this, but say if somebody comes in and they buy an alternator. Now, if you know anything about cars, you open up the front of the hood, and the alternator's right on top. You take out 3 little bolts, cut the belt, and 5-minute job. Well, we get like, say, $40 for that. But if somebody comes in with a flywheel that's still in the car, then you open up the hood, you got to drag the car to the room where they got the torches and a tow motor, and you got to pull the whole motor out. And you got to unbolt the motor, and you got to unbolt the transmission, and that's a 5-hour job. And we still get $40 for it. So one is a 5-minute job, and one is a 5-hour job. So there's easy money, and there's hard money. Now what does that have to do with all things working to the good? Well, because there's easy good, and there's hard good. Now God will work all things to the good. But in Matthew, the 11th chapter, the 30th verse, it says, Jesus is talking, well, start with the 28th. It said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls." But the 30th verse, "For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." Now, if you take up the Lord's yoke, that's easy. But does anybody know what the way of a transgressor is?
It's hard.
Now see, if you go against what God wants in your life, then your way becomes hard. If you yield to what God wants in your life, then the way is easy. Now either way it's going to be good, because God's going to work it to your good. But one way is going to be very hard on you, and the other way is going to be very easy on you. And I found out a long time ago, in the natural and in the spiritual, the easy way is the best way.
Yeah, easy is best.